shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbos,
To
Rabbi.
all who are here in person, nice to see you all. And to those who are enjoying services online with us, wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're enjoying services, and being a part of our community as we connect from all over and find ways to make our Shabbos meaningful, make our Shabbos peaceful. So let's begin together with some song, with some prayer, with some meditation, some reflection. Just to breathe in deeply and sort of create this moment in time. You know, we rush to get, I rush to get here. I feel like we're moving quickly. Some of us after busy Fridays, and we want to make sure we're here at this moment. And so we're here now, whether online or in person. We have this moment. We've given ourselves this gift, this blessing. So like I said, breathe in deep. Breathe out slowly. God's gift to each and every one of us, bringing out our gift to this world to make the most of our Shabbos time together.
Olam chesed yibane, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai. Olam chesed yibane, yadadai, yadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibane, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai. Olam chesed yibane, yadadai, yadai, yadadai.
I remember 26 and a half years ago when I first came to services at Temple Shir Shalom. And I got to sit in the pews and enjoy a Shabbos service, to relax and to appreciate. And I remember Rabbi Schwartz, the elder, beginning services and asking us all to close our eyes and take a deep breath and led us on a guided meditation. And I thought, this is strange. This is not how I pray. I grew up in classical Reform Judaism, grew up with a prayer book, or I grew up maybe with a guitar in camp, but meditation in a part of formal services, it didn't really make sense. And I tried to let go, and after 2 minutes, I began to listen a little more keenly and appreciate a little more. And I saw the blessing in just creating that moment for myself. And I watched everyone else around sort of relax and melt into their seats too, and appreciate that moment as well, that blessing that they created. And I realized then, just because I knew services and Shabbat in one way, doesn't mean it can't be a different way. The beauty of our Judaism is our ability to change, to adapt, to evolve even. In this week's Torah portion, a remarkable story of Joseph and his journey, and of course being sold into slavery, and then his rise to prominence in Egypt, and his brothers finding him, not knowing it's him when they're experiencing a famine, and Joseph putting them through a test, right? Where he has Benjamin seeming to steal his goblet, and then his brothers, rather than allowing Benjamin to be thrown into prison, his brother, particularly Judah, says, "Take me instead," draws close to Joseph and says, "Take me instead." And that's when Joseph reveals his identity, because he realized his brother has changed. That something happened in his life. Here was Judah who said, "Let's sell him into slavery. Let's get rid of him. Let's do away with the dreamer," says Judah. And now he says about his other brother, "Let's save him." He's changed. Our faith is Judaism. This is the man who we're named for. Belief in the people of Judah. His tribe was the largest tribe that became our people. We're part of a people. It's not belief. It's part of something. And what's made us survive these thousands of years is our ability to adapt. That in a sense, we're all like Judah. We've made mistakes in life, but we learn. We evolve, we change, we grow, we adapt. And prayer is that as well. So sometimes meditation might work for us. Sometimes song works for us. Sometimes reading does. Sometimes silence does. One's not better than the other. They're all ways our tradition's given us. All ways to help us find Shabbat. Help us find a moment in time that can help us. So let's meditate now. Let's take that deep breath in again. Maybe close your eyes and breathe out as well. Just enjoy in this moment the stillness, the calm. Think about the things in your life that have been blessings. Despite maybe the frustrations, challenges, hurdles we have to overcome, pause in this moment and notice what is a blessing. A relationship, a friendship, a kindness, a love, spending our time engaged in meaningful endeavors, a memory that's part of who we are today, that carries us, that reminds us of values we hold on to, that resonate, that give us strength. All of it leads us to better selves, to adapting even more, to changing every day. And in doing that, knowing how we bring chesed into our lives, into our world, how we can bring even more kindness into what we do every single day.
I will build this world from love. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai, then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai.
ourselves that each of us brings more light into this world. So as we kindle the Shabbos candles, look at these flames, we remind ourselves of that gift that we share with one another.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
And so with that, we begin with our formal prayers of Shabbat. For those online, if you want to follow with the prayer book, that can be found on the download there through our website or in our pews as well. We begin with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship, as we rise together on page 20.
Lai, 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 lai. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Next prayer that we join together into the words of the Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu was a prayer that was written that reminded us when we went to sleep at night that it was an opportunity for us to ask God to protect us, because we were worried about what might happen when we fall asleep, what might happen, and if we might wake up the next morning. And so the rabbis wrote this prayer asking God to look over us, to watch over us, to protect us. But it was also about protecting us so that when we woke up the next morning, we could wake up to life renewed, refreshed. That we ask God to keep away from us, to save us from hunger and homelessness, from violence. This week, especially the past few weeks, we realize how important these prayers are. For some, it's that reminder. For some, it's daily experience. But it was the reason for the importance of this prayer, to make that petition that God watch over us and protect us. The idea that's set up at the beginning is that God would do that by setting over us a shelter of peace, a sukkot shlomecha, that we would be protected under God's wings. So just for a moment, I invite you to close your eyes again, to breathe in, slowly inhaling through your nose, and to breathe out, exhaling through your mouth. Continue to focus on your breath. Breathe in that gift from God, and breathe out, sharing your gift with the world. Continue to focus on that breath. Sukkot shlomecha, a shelter of peace. Picture in your mind what a shelter of peace looks like to you. How is that shelter made? What is it that makes it a shelter of peace? Is it large? Is it small? How many people can fit inside? Is there room for one? Or is there room for more? That sukkot shlomecha, that shelter of peace, what is it that you see inside that creates peace for you? That vision that we have in our minds, that's what we're asking God for tonight. So tomorrow morning we can wake up to life renewed, refreshed, and we can experience that shelter of peace for us, for our community, and for our world. And the ability for us tonight, as we we find ourselves, whether at home, online, watching, or inside our sanctuary. Just the ability to close our eyes, to have that moment where we trust. It's the beginning of creating that shelter of peace.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
And in preparation for the Amidah, we rise together and take a moment for our own private meditations, following the prayers of our hearts or those in our prayer books, somewhere around page 70, I believe. Please rise. And by 70, I mean page 25. The thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering the song in the silence of the night, and eternity
תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי ידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
As we gather together on Shabbat, so our prayers turn to those in need of healing and strength. And so we take Torah out into our community, into our midst. Reminder not just of learning, knowledge, of guidance, but also a symbol and source of hope, as it's been for our people literally for thousands of years. And so as we walk around with the Torah and reach out and touch it, so do we mention the names of those we're thinking of in our prayers, so we gain strength in having Torah in our midst as well. Mishiberach, Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, V'imotenu Sarav Kalei Rachel, Hu Yivarech et Cholim, merciful God who has blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Leah, and Rachel. Send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness and anxiety, especially as friends and family we think of at this time. Alyssa Ioto and Doreen Billett, Michael Brody, Larry Burke, Karen Kasman, Patty Seresny, Malay Kotent, Barbara Esrig, Sandy Flair, Ashley Goldberg, Batya Pesha Penina, Chaim and Gidon Barachel, Chana Bat Yom Tov Rivka, Ty Hall, Andrew Halo, Hank Heiser, Jerry Hoffman, Rhoda Hoffman, Leslie Hubert, Jane Jacobs, Jamie Kay, Myrna Klein, Serafina Coffrin, Sarah Bat Miriam, Karen Coltono, Marta Lazar, Glenn Lee, Henry Leopold, Louis McIntyre, Zoe Marcus, Joyce Maza, Allison Mertzman, Lev Herschel ben Bet Ami, Perry Moss, Lori Moss, Moshe ben Moshe, Michael Eisen, Scott Miles, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Rezel Bat Leah Miriam, Michael Mulvaney, Leah Elisheva Bat Avram Bachana, Patty O'Callahan, Casey Pearson, Annette Pines, Eileen Percelli, Melanie Pohl, James Raftery, Joanne Reed, St. Amman family, Micha Chuna Ben Sima Freda, Amy Salmanoff, Rita Seidman, Danny Shepard, Bernard Sklar, Roberta Sinino, Barbara Storm, David Wolf, Helene Wolf, Tom Zoner, as well as all those battling the coronavirus. 32,455 American troops have been injured in Iraq and the surrounding areas to date. And all the names in our hearts, Baruch Atah Narif Chalim. Bless you, God, give strength to those in
the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with Refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Nothing can fill the emptiness that a death leaves behind. Those who are no longer a physical presence are still alive within our thoughts and our words. Their memories are only a part of the picture. So long as we recall their presence, then their warmth, their friendship, their heart, mind, and thought are still within our soul. We honor and cherish the ones we love by living our lives to the fullest. This Shabbat, we think of those friends and family who have been taken from us in these most recent days. Hushiva, Shloshim, and Shana we mark. Zoli Rubin, Morris Horwitz, Alan Rosen, Daniel Feldman, the Oxford High School teens who lost their lives, Tate Meyer, Hannah St. Juliana, Madison Baldwin, and Justin Schilling. Brenda Fantich, Eugene Negabor, Carol Lewis, Morris Krause, Edward Seresny, Gerald Sternberg, Marshall Greenspan, Marvin Raymond Litt, Esther Zita Liwazer, Alan Ryder, Jan Brody, the 4,586 Americans of our armed forces who lost their lives in Iraq and the surrounding areas to date, as well as the 794,905 Americans who have lost their lives to the coronavirus. And to their names we add those whose yard sites we mark, those whose anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate. Roberta Abrams, Raji Alpert, B. Alpiner, Edie Bacalar, Joseph Berman, Paulette Bussell Oatley, Abraham Citron, Jack Conroy, Lena Emmer, Jeffrey Feldman, Harold Finstein, Larry Elliott Firestone, Jeremy David Haberman, Dr. Ralph Hines, Louis Honigman, Bill Jacobs, Sheldon B. Krause, Benjamin Lefkowitz, Donald Harold Levy, Marcus Levitch, Stephen Mandel, Naomi Roth Munter, Tilly Myers, Rebecca Reisman, Jean Side, James Staley, Hy Vogel, Dr. Robert Wolf, David Yovis, along with all the names in our hearts. And those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, do we join together as one family, as one community, in the mortal words of the Mortis Kaddish, thanking God for the gift of life, on page 46 of our prayer books. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'almad, Divrach, Teretei, Ve'amlich, Malchutei, B'chayachon, Uvyomechon, Uvchayei, Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uvizman, Karid, V'imru, Amen. Yehei, Shmei Rabbah, Mivarach, Le'olam, Omei, Amaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shmei V'kudusha, V'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all the bereaved among us here and everywhere. As together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Good Shabbos, everyone.
Well, good Shabbos, everyone. We're trying to figure out, there's a little bit of delay on the YouTube, so I'm going to post in here for people that have Tish questions, but we'll take those in a moment, too, from here.
We're so well skilled in technology. You know, Zoom and YouTube and streaming is new for us. 22 months into this, we have yet to figure out what we're doing. Just kidding. We're really good at it now. So, Couple things to share that are coming up on our calendar. Next week is a nice meditation and calm Shabbat as well, like this. And then on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, very important Jewish holidays, we have a 5 p.m. service on both of those Fridays. So mark your calendars, it'll be 5 p.m., both in person and online as well, so you can be part of it that way. And then actually we're going back to doing our special Shabbatot. I don't know what we call them, or Shabbats with a twist, right? I think that's it, Shabbat with a twist, because there's always cocktails or drinks with them too, right? So in January 21st will be a special Shabbat, a 6:30 service, or I think that's a 7:30 service, followed by mulled wine, that's warming of the heart, and wine and cheese. And then in February 25th, there's going to be ready? You ready for it? Ready? Burgers, babka, and beer Shabbat at with a 6:30 service. I don't know if it's called that yet. It's just things that are.
Rings well.
What's that?
Sounds good.
It does, right? But
like that ringing I hear now.
I heard, yeah. So anyway, and we're gonna do it in a way we won't be outside like we were in November. We're probably in the social hall really well spread out in a way that's safe for us all too, because we're not doing meals formally together here at Temple. We haven't as of yet, but we're gonna try to find ways to make that safe and comfortable for us as our world progresses and moves into this. But now a moment, or anything else to share, Rabbi Dan?
Well, I'll share as well. We have another Tea Talk in Torah that's coming up on December 22nd, Wednesday, I believe at 2 o'clock, right?
Yes, 2 o'clock is when we're doing them.
It was a lot easier when it was Thursdays at 3. Made it easy. But 2 o'clock on Wednesday, December 22nd. We usually start off, there's no charge for Temple members to be a part of it. Sometimes we have dessert, a little drink of coffee or tea. Tea Talk in Torah, it makes sense. Iced tea, hot tea, your choice. But then we also introduce something about the Torah portion of the week. We talk about Pirkei Avot, ethics of our ancestors, some pithy sayings to be able to share, but it's discussion-based. So we present a text, but really it's about getting to know the members of our community around you and having some thoughtful discussion for that hour. And so you can sign up for that online and be a part of that as well.
Now your questions.
John.
Back on. Uh-huh. So the prayers that we say inside of mezuzah, where is it located? Is it from Torah?
It's from the book of Deuteronomy. There's two parts of it that are contained in what's known as the klaf, or the text of the scroll that's inside the mezuzah. The Shema and the Ve'ahavta are part of it. Both from Deuteronomy.
Chapter 6, I think, of Deuteronomy.
6 and 11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. Of course. And if you want to wear tefillin, then you have to add those two, and then the parts of Exodus chapter 13, I think it is, that have the verses from the book of Exodus. Because I know tefillin's what you're all doing. Richard. What? Just any other questions? Or should we enjoy our Kiddush now? You have to get up. Cantor just sat down. I'll keep talking for a moment. It's fine. Someone asked about tzedakah projects on Christmas Day, and in past years as a community, we've had opportunities to go and do good things in Christmas. And because of COVID, I haven't seen anything advertised. We used to go down to COTS, Community and Temporary Shelter, and serve breakfast there at 6 in the morning. We go down there, and I was always known as the bacon fryer. I don't know why they always put me on that assignment. I don't think it was anti-Semitism because it was the temple members who made me do that. Anyway, but it was always a meaningful thing to serve breakfast on Christmas. Have you seen anything, Rabbi?
So Federation is doing a weekend of mitzvah weekend as opposed to mitzvah day, which they would normally do on Christmas Day itself, giving the opportunity for those who celebrate Christmas to be with their families, and members of the Jewish community filling in for them in different agencies around the community. Because it happens to be on Shabbat, they've extended it so there's opportunities on Friday the 24th, on Christmas Day, on that Shabbat on the 25th, and then on the 26th, that Sunday as well. And so if you go to Federation's website, you'll be able to find a link and some information to that and to volunteer. And if you want to volunteer in January, we actually have our annual Tikkun Olamathon, which is going to be happening on January 16th as well, in celebrating the legacy of Martin Luther King that day. And so more information will be sent out about that in the new year.
And so we give thanks for the sweetness of this day as we rise together and join with the cantor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
Blessed are you, God, ruler of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine and the sweetness of life. That balance is so good.
It is well.
We give thanks for community, our time together, the blessings that we should have in our lives as well.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you, and may God protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you and shine through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisim lecha shalom.
May God lift you up, giving you the strength to be you. Most of all, may God bless all of us, here and everywhere, with peace.
Vayisim lecha shalom. Shabbat.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Look at this.